My parents have been traveling since I was born, and we first went to the Cayman Islands, and we stayed there for 6 years, living in Miami part-time. Then we moved to Frankfurt, Germany, then Connecticut for 2 years in the States, Spain for 2 months, and then finally here for 6 years and a bit. Whilst living in Germany, I attended a private local school rather than the international school, and my parents were very happy with that choice. I became fluent in German and learned Hebrew. The risk with this is that the English lessons are non-existent. So parents have to ensure that the English lessons continue outside of school. This is true for local schools here in Hong Kong if the school that you choose is not strong on language. I came from an elite Catholic girls' school in Connecticut to Hong Kong, and my parents wished for me to continue with the single-sex education, and because of the local systems that have worked previously, they wanted me to take advantage of the local system here in Hong Kong. The aim was that I would learn Cantonese, as well as be able to learn about the culture and embrace the culture. My parents considered that the international schools did not provide the option to integrate into the society as much. As I am the eldest of 6 kids, with no school funding, financial reasons for choosing local schools was significant, as it is much, much, much cheaper. When we arrived, my parents got local tutors to help with Cantonese and Putonghua whilst we were arranging school places. At first, my siblings and I were accepted into the initiation program of the EDB, which is a government orientation scheme. And direct quote from the website is that the full-time initiation program is an integrated program provided as an alternative mode of support services for the children just arriving to Hong Kong. So really it's the EDB helping with families who have just moved here and they need to quickly get into school. My siblings, 2 of them, I believe, completed 9 months of the 6-month program. Completed 9 months of the 6-month program, yeah. So they joined in the middle of one of them and then restarted with the next one. My initiation program was at Delia Memorial School in Kwun. It was a very, very local school with many diverse nationalities, and it was a mixed gender school. And I was to stay there for 6 months before I would complete the course. In the early weeks of attending the school, I went to different interviews at Good Hope School. I'm sure most of you have heard of that school, Marymount School, and St. Margaret's School. The Sacred Heart Canossian wouldn't even interview me, and Good Hope rejected me, and so did Marymount. These are Band 1 type schools and are highly academic and have an emphasis on examination and academic success. St. Margaret's is a Band 2A local girls' school. It used to be on Kane Road in Mid-Levels, which is not so far from here. So I found a suitable school in a great location in a good neighborhood. My parents liked that it was Catholic and girls only. I liked that it was easy to access, and I could walk to the shops after school and get the bus home from school. I attended St. Margaret's for 5 years, from Form 1 to Form 6. The school had approximately 400 girls. Being in the local school was challenging, as the teaching methods are predominantly lecture-based, and although interactive, do not have the informality and the experiential learning methods that international schools use. The children are expected to do a lot of self-study, as well as the quality of the teaching can vary. We had some good teachers and we had some not so good teachers. Some teachers are interesting and inspirational, but some are very strict and rigid. I was offered extra support at times, and I could have made use of the availability of teachers. The facilities there were not as elaborate as some international schools, and we took gym classes at the Sun Yat-sen Sports Center by walking across Bonham Road and through down to Sai Ying. My time at St. Margaret's allowed me to have great exposure to local culture, local politics, and local current affairs. I did not learn Cantonese. I learned basic Cantonese, and my Chinese characters were not great. I couldn't write at all. I found this the most challenging. The medium instruction of my school that I went to is English, and many of the students were very good English speakers. And although I was the only native English speaker in the entire school, I feel like I've managed to I overcame those challenges. As I was saying, there's a huge mix of nationalities, and their native language varied. Some were from the Philippines, Pakistan, Nepal, and it really it helped me really understand the culture of their lives. So really, going to that school really has made me a more open person. I'm much more understanding. I'm not narrow-minded. I think outside the box, really. My parents wanted me to experience this diversity and not to be in a school with highly privileged children as I had been prior to coming to Hong Kong. The students in my previous school had been from families of extreme wealth and some with bodyguards. My parents wanted me to experience a different side of society and considered that learning Chinese and Cantonese would make up for the lack of advantages that the children in international school are exposed to. I took my HKGSEs last year, and I started at Hong Kong Academy in Sai Kung last October, and I am studying the IB diploma program in the final year at present. So once I more to understand that, at the beginning of Form 6, which is the last secondary year in the whole secondary school system, I decided I wanted to do IB because I felt that my DSEs really, I couldn't go overseas, I couldn't go to college. I mean, I could, but it'd be much more difficult doing so. So my parents decided to put me into international school on my last year at school. So I guess you could say I repeated because IB is a 2-year program. For the future, I want to apply to acting school, but as it's a far-reach profession, the majority of the colleges that I am applying for are politics and international relations, that choice really has come from being in a local school with people with a school that is so diverse. Like you won't get that in international school. I mean, you could, but it's not as likely to have such a diverse place. My world travels since I was born have allowed me to have significant awareness of the diversity in the different world nations, and that is what I'm attracted to. The liberal studies subject in the local school curriculum has allowed me to have the knowledge of both local politics and global